of the water gorge. He widened his eyes in shock. They were swimming to a huge city protected by a dome and a huge octopus. The protagonist twisted his face and frowned because he was shocked that something big, the size of a city, appeared. The brown-haired man looked closely at the sullen grin. The mermaid commander asked about the monster. Then the same question was asked by a knight swimming nearby, and she answered him with trepidation that it was a guardian octopus protecting the kingdom of mermaids, and they had been together for a long time. It was the same underwater city with a fortress in the center, like a palace, and they were told to first greet the mermaid queen. The protagonist and the knight were kneeling in front of the queen's throne, who greeted a beautiful and ugly man. It was the red-haired mermaid queen Ariel, who looked at the guests with trepidation. The protagonist looked at his companion through his bangs, and the brown-haired man asked the knight to try to borrow the pearl of truth for him. Although he understood that he was only an expert on the face, and it was the gentleman who was eloquent, but he had no say in this place. Ariel immediately closed her eyes and smiled with trepidation, telling Lloyd not to worry because she did not discriminate, even if his face was so disgusting, and therefore allowed him to speak, but first he had to turn his face away. He realized that this was too obvious discrimination, almost cruel. The protagonist stood on the carpet and looked away, introducing himself as Lloyd, and said that he came here in search of the precious pearl of truth and would like to borrow it from them. He looked displeased from under his brows when he heard the mermaid's laughter. Ariel immediately began to laugh maliciously, saying that if she had, she would have lent it, but the pearl of truth that everyone in the world knows is a myth. The main character immediately froze and his eyes bulged in shock. The mermaid queen smiled, rested her chin in her hand, and said that these were just legends, and they came here assuming that there would be something like that. The mermaid looked at the guests who were kneeling, when Lloyd cried out that the Dragon King said that the pearl of truth was in the kingdom of mermaids, but Ariel explained that he was talking about a lazy sleepyhead. She slightly closed her eyes, lowering them, and said that his brain was as sour as his face, and it was impossible that he could not explain more accurately. The main character